go over this so I can just get a heartache and tolerate another average episode. If there was an average episode of Raw that will be reviewed, sooner in half an hour will be SmackDown. So I just want to get this out of my chest because obviously I have anticipations for a lot of crap coming in this WrestleMania. Things there's very little build, and thanks we have 4 weeks remaining. Those 4 weeks better count for some wrestling content that won't, blow up in our faces. Thanks Tommaso Ciampa's injured, some of our major guys are injured. We are signing random TNA guys like Abyss, Robbie E. Really? While we have EC3, Bobby Roode in the roster? This is a joke. This is a joke. We're just gonna keep stealing Impact stars. It's sad. But to more important matters, let's just go over the main show. I'm not going over the kickoff, obviously. So the main opening matchup of the main card involves the greatest tag team in the world against the Usos, where of course their first title defense was a failure in the Royal Rumble. They had a rematch at the yeah, I got that completely mixed up. So their first title defense was at the Elimination Chamber where they failed, and then they lost at a rematch clause on Fastlane. Decently enough, The Miz tries aerial assault moves. Like, I understand, like, over the top rope axe handle. He did a springboard axe handle. Shane was actually pulling up some really good moves as well. Snap suplex. There's a lot of other impactful moves. Miz still trying to rely on his legs. That's weird. It's not like the Miz to rely on his legs. He's more on slams or attacks to the head. So this was obviously something to... It was a shocker. It was a shocker, and we had a shocker ending with somehow Shane McMahon turning heel instead of Miz. So, this should have been the other way around. I think Miz is better as a heel, but Shane makes more sense maybe because he's a McMahon and being dragged on with this sob story about the Miz and his father sort of makes sense. Why Shane McMahon would obviously turn against Miz, especially when you fail to even defend your titles. It just ended up with the Usos just rolling up Miz for the pinfall, and Shane just with a shocker heel turn trying to beat the shit out of Miz and trying to break his arm while shoving his father at the side. It was a shocker heel turn, so good on those two guys. Can't wait for the feud because I know Miz has been better with age, with his time as a wrestler. Yeah, my bad about that. So obviously, it just takes a lot of time to get some information out there, and obviously I have my sources and crap. So yeah, the Usos win in a decent timed matchup. I think that Shane and Miz really shown themselves to be, even the Shane and McMahon shown himself to be a better wrestler over the past few years since his return back in 2016. So yeah, it was a pretty good opener. I thought the early points were pretty good, but that doesn't mean everything's gonna be good, folks. Let me tell you, this I'm going to be as blunt as possible to make sure I get the very best because people were trying to say the Royal Rumble was the better pay per view of the year, better than Takeover Phoenix, better than Fastlane, better than the Elimination Chamber that had a good finish. The only thing positive about Royal Rumble 2019 was literally Seth Rollins winning the Royal Rumble. That was literally it. The Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman match was boring. No one cared about Asuka and Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch was just rushed into the Royal Rumble to begin with. Brock Lesnar had issues against fucking Finn Balor, and then earlier on last year he beat fucking Braun Strowman and goddamn Braun Strowman and goddamn Samoa Joe the previous year, Roman Reigns, and now he's saying that he has an issue with midgets because he had an issue beating Daniel Bryan. Yeah. So that was interesting enough. Next match up the card is gonna be Mandy Rose and uh Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville against Asuka, the women's champion that hasn't competed. She took like a few week hiatus because of an injury she suffered. I think against Nia Jax. And then Mandy Rose had to pin somebody, I think Naomi Clean, to go against Asuka for the Fastlane. This had very little build. I thought they were going to build up Lacey Evans and Mandy Rose. I mean, Lacey Evans and Asuka, because Lacey Evans came and interrupted their match. There's no build up because they don't give a shit about Asuka, sadly. Thanks. Two of your SmackDown superstars are on Raw trying to mess with Charlotte. There's no top stars on SmackDown to mess around with Asuka. I thought it was going to be Nikki Cross. That could have been an interesting feud. Now it's Mandy Rose that should have won the title from her. But not much except that heel kick from Asuka. That was the best showing of the match. And not that many impactful moves that could have turned the tides. And Sonya Deville's crappy wave, like, costing Mandy Rose the match with the ring apron, slipping her poorly in a kick to the face. Kind of crappy finish, and I don't know what they're trying to split off Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville for. Even though Mandy Rose, yeah, this is terrible. I don't know if they're going to do a breakup session for this. I think they should just stay together for the tag team titles. Thanks, you need to make a women's tag division. But, depends. It really depends. Asuka won, but this has no prevail to actually be an interesting feud. I don't know who was Asuka going to challenge. She's the women's champion. She's treated like second-rate fodder. That's not good sign for Asuka. She's being a mid-tier. She's like the second-rate champion. That's not how it should be. Next up was a backstage segment involving Kofi Kingston, just waiting out there for McMahon. In the office for McMahon while the New Day were just coming to intrude on Kofi Kingston. And then they said, just go in there and ask. It's been 11 years. Listen, I understand they're trying to do this because they appreciate Kofi Kingston's longevity into the WWE. I have no problem with that. I love Kofi Kingston, and people are trying to give me this crappy excuse from 2009. He was beating Randy Orton, all because of one botch. That makes no fucking sense. All because of one botch finished off an RKO, you were somehow not granted a title shot? Multiple Intercontinental U.S. Championship belts he have coveted over his career, plus tag team gold, and now holds the record. Now has his name etched in history for the longest reigning tag team champions. That's a lot of accomplishment. I think I would retire happily with that crap. Next up was supposed to be a triple threat match involving Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens, and Daniel Bryan, but then sabotaged, and the match was changed into what looked like a setup for the Bar to just completely squash on Kofi Kingston. And I think they were trying to do this Daniel Bryan stuff. Thanks for Daniel Bryan. At least it was more realistic how Daniel Bryan was not set up for success in the WWE, and obviously he was going to make it to the main event, but they were trying to push him, having a hard time, just even though Daniel Bryan wasn't much of an underdog to begin with. But whatever the WWE can do to make fake underdogs happen. Kofi Kingston got squashed up and beaten the shit out of by the Bar while the New Day came and get their ass beaten just to build up sympathy points for Mania because they really want to see two midgets wrestle in WrestleMania because Daniel Bryan has no other interesting character with him other than he's the planet's champion. He has the best gimmick he had in years other than that yes shit, but that's a mid-card gimmick. That's a mid-card gimmick. If he held the U.S. title, that's something you can actually get behind. Not the WWE Championship, where he doesn't even have a following other than Rowan. I'm sorry, I just hate Daniel Bryan's current Intercontinental title push. At least straight edge, that's something to get behind. Next up was a triple threat tag team match, and actually a triple threat tag team match, pretty much one of the most entertaining tag team matches in the damn show. It was fast paced. Chad Gable had a bitchin' aerial assault. I think someone had a corkscrew. Of course, the Revival do what they do best. They just fuck. I don't. I think it was. I don't know if it was Dawson or Dash Wilder who suffered a damn terrible rib injury off the apron. And they take it like they're an official, like they've been in a legit tag team, Ricochet and Aleister Black, even though they're only set up for the tag tournament. Yet they get tag title shots because our tag title match is a complete wreck if we had the B team or the fucking Ascension. So luckily these are good guys. They made it fast paced, so smooth. Bobby Roode should be in a freaking single star right now. There's no need to just let him in the tag division, because he needs TV time. And Chad Gable, well, Shelton Benjamin's back. I don't know if they're gonna set up a tag team. I think they should to let Chad Gable at least get some more tag team credit if they want to send him up to single stardom. I think this brand split is not working, and sooner than later WWE's just gonna squash it like that in the middle of the year. It's just gonna be forgettable. Especially when you're going to bring back Money in the Bank. Why the hell is that a pay-per-view? I swear to God. There's no excuse for more pay-per-views. We already discussed this on my rant video that obviously pay-per-views don't work. So what's for like more pay-per-views? You're not going to produce a story. It's just going to produce more content to something that you're obviously not excited. You didn't even digest most of what happened on the 5 hours of Raw and SmackDown you just watched. So why in the fuck am I screaming? It's just not a good enough build up to have a pay-per-view 2 weeks until after another one. So I'm just saying. It's not good enough to just build up for more pay-per-views. One gimmick stipulation should not be an excuse to make a pay-per-view. That's why Fatal 4-Way failed. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous excuse, and I hope I don't hear that again. The Revival retained, and that's pretty good because I really didn't care about Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. I don't even know how they were a tag team, and Aleister Black and Ricochet obviously just came here. This was a pretty good match. It's a good finish. One of the best matches in the show until later on. An amazing Fatal 4-Way match. Another Fatal 4-Way, but it's singles Fatal 4-Way. Involving Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio, R-Truth. They literally, and Almas, Andrade. They just redid the Fatal 4-Way they had the previous week on SmackDown. And it's like, Samoa Joe, he had the previous year, when he made it to the main roster, it's like, who am I going to face for my world title shot? Oh, obviously Brock Lesnar, once. Am I going to get a rematch? Sure! In a Fatal 4-Way? What? Okay, that's fair. Against Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns, he wants the title shot as well. Brock Lesnar, have fun. What the fuck? And then now he pushed into a Fatal 4-Way. He didn't get much into that feud with AJ Styles, and obviously when he made it personal, and now he just wins the United States title and just regains it in another multi-man match. In a really good finish. Rey Mysterio, MVP of the night. I'm sorry. That was a great... he had a double Hurricane Rana with two heads in between the legs and just tossed them motherfuckers. R-Truth wasn't that bad. He went to some transitional spots. I thought he was just like an extra. He was the former United States champion, and he felt like an extra. Obviously, because Andrade and Mysterio are feuding, for no apparent reason. They don't even clarify that much on SmackDown. And Samoa Joe, obviously, he needs a championship belt, or else why is he not here? It's like James Storm when he was on NXT. Where's James Storm? Still, this was a pretty entertaining match. Samoa Joe got some big spots in there. Obviously, did his Pele kicks in the corner. R-Truth it felt like an extra. Andrade and Rey Mysterio should be feuding for a championship or something. These guys are too talented. Obviously, with the Lucha Libre history and obviously the prestige of Rey Mysterio in the wrestling world, jealousy should be obviously be a feud for Andrade in like a pseudo ripoff of the Chavo Guerrero and Rey Mysterio feud that happened over 10 years ago. But this is with a younger, athletic, more talented, and who looks like more charismatic than Chavo. So I would like to see this. This would be a really entertaining feud. But WWE, obviously, with other really potential great feuds they would be doing, they drop the ball and force it down our throats on TV than just having more authentic ways of doing it on pay-per-view. We're just building it up, promo, and fighting other guys to build up how dangerous these guys are. It makes no sense that they just get matches and or multi-man matches on main TV. It's kind of watered down, if you understand what I'm saying. That's why I like most of like AJ Styles, John Cena, blah blah blah, Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, Sheamus, matches that you think would be great on pay-per-view. They don't dish it out because they always show it on TV, so there's no authenticity watching it on the network. It's a really good match. I'm actually happy. This was a really entertaining match. Then we went to the weakest links on the entire wrestling roster. Nia, Jax, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Tamina. One package. Beth Phoenix was there and got her ass handed to her. It was a weak ass finish, even though Bayley and Sasha Banks retained. The double knee takedowns do not work, and Nia Jax cannot bump. This was terrible. Tamina can't do super kicks anymore because she gotten fatter and looks like the real abused housewives of Hinduism. Fuck, I don't know what I was going with that joke, but that was still a bad joke. Whatever. It was good to see the women's tag title match actually have its first appearance, but still with like not an official tag team and two women that obviously are shown to be portrayed as single stars. I'm shocked they've just given the tag titles because you need some legitimate names on it, especially women that are not notable for a tag team. Or not Tamina and Nia Jax. So this is just pointless. There was no tournament build up. There's no excitement. There's no feuds further on. No other women tag teams are feuding for this. Maybe the Iconics, but the Iconics are on SmackDown. They barely have enough screen time. Yet they should because they're actually entertaining. This was a crappy botchy match. Sasha Banks cannot work with Nia Jax. Nia Jax can't work with anybody. Tamina's not that interesting, and I don't know what they're trying to build up. Nia Jax and Beth Phoenix, that would be cool. And Sasha Banks and Bayley should just hang themselves. They have nothing interesting to put on the TV screen. Next up was, of course, the triple threat match. Yes, even though Kofi Kingston took it out, guess who came back? Even though he came back on SmackDown, so the surprise was kind of bittersweet. It had a weird aftertaste. It was Mustafa Ali coming to replace Kofi Kingston. Was it worth it? It was an alright triple threat, even though it could have been just Owens and Daniel Bryan to begin with. It's pretty decent triple threat. There was some good senton. It's just Seth Rollins and Jinder Mahal having a baby, and there's fucking Mustafa Ali. It was an alright triple threat match. There was some really good moves. Kevin Owens did a pop-up power bomb, but he did it on the apron and the frickin'. He still uses the frickin' stunner. I don't know why it's homage to Steve Austin for. I don't know how your injury had to deal with homage with Steve Austin. There were some decent false finishes, even though Kevin Owens was the only person who came close to pinning Daniel Bryan for the 3 count. And they were trying to build it up. Oh, Owens almost had it. Owens almost had it, and Mustafa's just in the way. And it's like, why just bring Mustafa in? Why you take it like Mustafa's a main event threat? Not Rusev. Not fucking Nakamura. Why they... This is my complaint. Like, you had a compelling, interesting, and what looks like a personal feud for the United States title back a couple months back, a few months back, I think back to January before the Royal Rumble. And Nakamura and Rusev were feuding for the belt for the U.S. title. And it involved Lana getting hurt, all this personal shit, Nakamura acting threatening and looking like he's manipulating, all that crap. And you couldn't even involve them and make it a fatal four-way for the WWE title, involving Kevin Owens' return. And now we don't. Now they're tagged up. And this feuding is already shitty. Mustafa Ali shouldn't have been in the triple threat, all because he was built up to be a major threat for the WWE Championship. While Kofi Kingston's supposed to be built up as his underdog, so obviously the smarky little sort of fans want to see Kofi Kingston. While you have Sheamus, Cesaro, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Nakamura, and Rusev on the roster on SmackDown. This was a mess. Even though this was an alright match, Mustafa Ali trying to do anything to like excite the crowd except get a near fall. Daniel Bryan just came out with Eric Rowan interrupting the matchup. Bloody, bloody, blah. Daniel Bryan retains the title, the triple threat, that crappy championship that I have to look at for the next few weeks. Next up was it just ended in disqualification. So why didn't you just end it in disqualification early? Like, just wow, crappy finish. It's like you had her selling the leg. Why would you make her have a leg injury in a house show? Why? That makes no sense. WWE, you're making no sense. Come on, folks. This could have been better than this. This could have been a way better Fastlane. This could have been something bigger. Or just have Becky Lynch just win clean with a leg injury and build her up more threateningly. This was a crappy finish with just Ronda Rousey causing the DQ just for Becky Lynch to not earn what she has because Ronda turned heel, even though Ronda beat the shit out of Becky Lynch earlier, like the last Raw Fastlane. So that makes no fucking sense. So it ends off the false finish and no crappy little call. Next up, the main event was the Shield versus McIntyre, Baron Corbin, and Bobby Lashley. No Leo Rush, by the way. This was the best match on the show. It really entertaining. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose were exciting. Well, Seth Rollins he had some high-flying moments. Obviously, they were doing it. Is it not what comments by they just wrestle at the kickoff panel? Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin were just wrestling one-on-one. They didn't grab any weapons. There were barely any weapons. No 2x4s, no wooden shit, no bat, no steel chair, just one-on-one to not make it that exciting. This could have been a way better entertaining way to like cap off the last time we would be seeing the Shield because Dean Ambrose technically will not be competing in the future. So this will be sad for anybody that's Dean Ambrose fan. And I apologize. Dean Ambrose, I think it's for the best that he leaves. He obviously, I heard he has creative differences. He's an old school guy. He seems to be a charismatic dude, and I think if he works anywhere else, he would look better. So, thank you, Dean Ambrose. At least he has a bit of a resume, so it's not much to be ashamed of for Dean Ambrose. He already built himself up as one of the top guys, and obviously off a huge losing streak, except trading wins with EC3. There's not much I could do for it. This was a really entertaining match. Dean Ambrose did the rebound clothesline, Seth Rollins, but this the last motherfucking time. It felt lit. It was exhilarating. It was really exciting. This is what WWE pay-per-views were missing. This is what WWE needs to do. They need to build emotion. They need to build excitement. They gotta build crap like this all the fucking time, or else pay-per-views are gonna crash and burn. All they're gonna feel is like snack food. You do not want a pay-per-view to act like snack food. I am telling you this because I care. Because I want WWE to be successful. I want it to be on the top like it was in the 90s and early 2000s. Shit like that is gonna get you guys to the top again. Like, you guys are already on the top, but it's like an autistic king ruling over the world, not an empire ruled by a genius, if you understand what I'm saying. You guys don't know what you're doing while you're on the top. Stuff might be creeping up, especially while AEW is heating up, and that might be more popular sooner than later. This gets, shockingly, I was about to give it a 5. I want to give it a 6 for being nice, because this actually had my blood excited. Seth Rollins made my day, and some of the matches weren't that bad. There was 3 matches that I liked, and a good heel, and a shocker heel turn. That's what I want to see on pay-per-view. That's what I want to see. And whatever we have 4 weeks before WrestleMania. I'm going to see what's going to happen. Especially while Batista's coming. This might be fun. And no Undertaker build-up. Yay! Let's just kill Undertaker, because obviously if he has one more match at WrestleMania, my heart's going to die. See you guys later. I'll be coming with SmackDown and Raw on a Wednesday. Thanks for watching.